Assalamu alaikum, Akram here from Islam side. Today's topic, the place of in-laws in relationships. As a father, as a parent, it's always a difficult thing to think about the time when your children will come to you and say, we're getting married, we're moving out, see you later. I mean, it doesn't mean that they're going to forget you. It just means that they are moving on to the next step of their lives. Therefore, instead of being scared, that they are going to forsake you, encourage them towards that step and try to be there. And also understand one thing, it's not because they're getting married to someone else that they're not going to love you anymore. They'll always be your daughter, your son. So therefore, don't feel insecure about getting your child married off. It is important for us to understand that most of the issues that I see in my clinic are related to financial issues, but also to interferences, of parents, friends, and third parties in relationships. So please, it is important for us to understand that we've got a responsibility as parents. We have to understand that, number one, we have to create healthy relationships based on respect and love. The respect and love have to be maintained at all time. Why? Because we can't fall into hatred, into gossips, into competition. It is important for us to think bigger picture. You're not losing, you're actually gaining a son-in-law and gaining a daughter-in-law. Therefore, rather than feeling sorry about yourself and sorry, for losing somehow your child, feel amazed and feel great for bringing more life into your life, because your child, he's going to, inshallah binallah, have children and then bring more life to you. But understand this, you only get what you put in. And this is very important, because we often feel disappointed because our children get married and just see you later and don't remember us. But the most important thing here is to invest in them when they're young. So please remember this. So number one, build healthy relationships based on love and respect. Number two, set clear boundaries and realistic expectations. I think it is important for us to understand this. When we say boundaries, do not confront your son-in-law or your daughter-in-law when you're upset with them. Use a more mature and wise way to communicate with them. When you want to talk to them, try to apply somehow some kind of, and I said it before, wisdom. I think we have to be wise in the way we tackle things. We have to be wise in the way we deal with each other. So please be mindful of your expectations. Your son-in-law, your daughter-in-law are not your children. So don't expect them, to do things for you. And don't feel disappointed if they don't do it. If they do it, great. Praise them for it. But if they don't do it, don't resent them. So, don't expect your daughter-in-law, especially when they live with you, to make tea for you or to do the cooking or the cleaning or all that stuff. Understand, if they do it, if we have a clear understanding from the get-go, clear expectations, then therefore it's great, it's fantastic. But if we don't have that understanding, don't expect and assume that they will do that for you. So please understand this. Number three, don't get involved in the arguments. So please, it is important for you to understand this. You're the parent. Respect yourself, because if you don't respect yourself, these kids won't respect you, and therefore you will lose face in front of them, but also in front of people. So when they struggle with certain things, when your child struggles, with his wife or her husband, it is important for you to give them the space, give them the time to get to know each other. It is important for us to understand that the first year and a half are usually the toughest moments in a relationship. Why? Because obviously we don't know each other, we come from different backgrounds, and therefore we have to make it work. But it comes with teething issues. So it is important for us to understand that we have to give them the space, the time to make it work. So it's not going to be always smooth. There will be issues, there will be conflicts, and that's why in Islam we've got the process of, when we get them married, we usually select independent witnesses. So we use those witnesses to come in and resolve certain of those issues. Otherwise, seek professional advice, but don't try to fix it for them because you're older or because you think you're wiser. The wise thing to do is to stay out of it. So please stay out of it. Number 4, understand your biases. Understand your bias. It is important for you to understand that we're human beings. So we've got favorites. It's not nice to say it, but it is true. There are certain children that we prefer over others. There are certain in-laws that we get along better. It is natural, but don't show it and don't advertise it and don't compare them either, because that never works. So please be mindful of this, because the only thing we're going to do is just create more resentment. So be just in your dealings with your children, with your in-laws. Treat them equally. It doesn't matter whether they come from the same background as you or whether they just come from a different culture. Treat them equally. Treat them with love and with mercy. And that leads me to my 5th point. Encourage and nurture a healthy and respectful environment and an atmosphere where everyone feels welcome, where everyone feels they belong. So please understand those words, that hopefully, inshallah, they will allow you to change the way you do things with your children, but also they will allow you to maintain respectful and healthy relationship with your sons-in-law, with your daughters-in-law. Thank you so much for your time. Jazaakum Allah Khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.